Do you want to know how to deal with a difficult teen? Well, I can definitely help you with that. I've had lots of experience being a therapeutic treatment care parent for troubled teens for many years and having raised 4 children of my own as well. So I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good communication, as well as how to build strong family bonds and child development all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we are going to be talking about helping your teens. The teenage years can be difficult. We're going to be talking in this video about some of the problems that you might be facing and then give you some solutions that you can use to deal with difficult teens. The teen years are tough. There's a lot of things that are happening. The hormones are changing, the bodies are growing, the sleep deprivation is real, the social is all over the place. They're learning and growing as they try to make connections with other people. There's so many distractions, more than ever before. There's pressures. There's a lot of things that are going on that could create stress, anxiety, even detachment. What is it that is difficult for you? I know that parents tell me on my Teaching Self-Government support group that they struggle with things like the child won't talk to them. They refuse to listen to them. They don't help out around the house. They're disrespectful. They're angry. They're lazy. What is difficult for you? No matter what the circumstance is, I actually know how to handle it. Years ago, the BBC contacted me and asked me to be on a program called The World's Strictest Parents. In fact, you can see reaction videos to that program here on this channel if that interests you. So at the time, I had just finished doing years of therapeutic treatment care for troubled teens. And so they wanted to bring troubled teens to my home. They brought 2 troubled teens, both ages 17, to stay in my home for 8 days. There were drug addictions and party addictions. There were problems with respect and relationships, basic problems with wanting to help out or lift a finger around the house. There was a lot of selfishness and entitlement, a lot of problems with these teens. People were hoping to see solutions. And they did. And after that, people started asking me and my family to talk all around the world and to teach the principles and skills of self-government. So what is self-government? Self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means that the person understands cause and effect. They have a system in place. They know this is my system for accomplishing my goals and for becoming the type of person I know I ought to be. And if they follow that system, then they know they should succeed. They're going to self-evaluate regularly to see if they need to course correct or make any adjustments. This is going to be beneficial for their entire lives because they will learn to be honest with themselves, their thoughts, and their behaviors. Most people who make excuses or who try to find other people to blame for the things that are happening to them are people who struggle with dishonesty when they do self-evaluation. So I taught the youth in my home to self-evaluate, and I did that by teaching them 4 basic skills of self-government. The 4 basic skills of self-government are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. When a person learns the skill sets to those 4 basic skills, that takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. So let's just talk about following instructions, for instance. Maybe you have a teenager who doesn't want to do what you tell them they need to do. They need to look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay, or ask to disagree appropriately, which is another one of those skills of self-government, then do the task immediately and then check back. And if they don't, then they need to be corrected. Now, your correction also needs to be self-governed so that it doesn't become emotional manipulation and lead to power struggles. Oftentimes, teenagers that are called difficult are the strong-willed ones who can fall into power struggles very easily. I was a strong-willed teen, and you know what I needed? The truth. And I needed some skills, some knowledge, some know-how. As soon as I started learning the truth from a neighbor of mine, I changed my behavior toward my parents, and our relationship changed drastically. I also started doing a little bit more to help out around the house. I definitely could have improved there, but nobody really helped me with that part of it that much. Let's talk about how to teach those skills of self-government. If you've been on this channel for a while, then you know that I talk a lot about roles, and that's because of this book here, Roles: The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. It's a great story. It's a read aloud, like a case study of a family. The parents are not on the same page. The teens in the family are having a hard time wanting to do what their parents are telling them they need to do. Everybody is just being selfish, and you see how they get their roles straight and how that puts the family back in order and actually helps everybody bond and be more happy. I highly recommend reading this book and having the conversations that the parents have with their children in this book, or read the book together with your teen and then discuss and have the conversations after you read the sections of the book. It is a really powerful book. For some people, they say it's one of their favorite books, even though it's not the book that details the whole Teaching Self-Government program. It's just the book that helps the relationships get in the right place and the roles get in the right place, so that then you can learn all the other skills and principles of self-government. If your teen doesn't like you or they don't respect you, you're going to have a hard time teaching them and getting through to them. The whole idea of self-government is to bring the relationships together so that both parents and children can have a change of heart. But this means you have to have a set way for how you will solve your problems. So not only do you teach your children the skill sets to the 4 basic skills, just like those steps to following instructions that I talked about, all of the 4 basic skills have different steps associated with them. Not just that, but you teach them the steps for the skills that you will use when you are parenting them as well. So what that means is that you tell them the exact steps that they need to know that you will use when you correct them. You tell them what types of consequences you will use, everything. So when your child has a problem where they're talking back or not using one of their skills that they should be using, then you can use the correction skill that they already know. When they already know it, it's predictable. This decreases their anxiety and should make it so that they accomplish their self-government goals a little bit better. Now, it could be that you have an incredibly difficult child. The type that even if you correct them, they're going to say, I don't care, I'm not doing it. Now, don't judge yet that you have that child. It's tempting. I know there's a lot of people watching the video. The fact that you even type that in and you're looking for how to handle a difficult child suggests to me that you think there is no hope. Now, that might be the case, but so far, I've really never seen a case where there is no hope. And what I've also noticed is that you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't have the skills already of self-government, you can't know if they will work for you yet. The first thing you do is learn the skills and principles of self-government, set up your family culture so that your family is working towards self-government together as a group. Learn the whole system, which you can learn with the TSG parenting course on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com. Then, if you are still struggling and you feel like, oh no, my child is a special case, well, then probably what we need to do is have some personal mentoring and make sure that you become part of our support group so I can answer some of your questions. Trust me, what I teach, it works for all children. Neurodiverse, neurotypical, strong-willed, passive, all the kinds, because it has something for everyone in it. And the skills are concrete. They're organized, they're measurable, which means they're quantifiable. You and your child can see the exact spot where they need to improve. This makes it less about you and them and your emotions and more just about the skills. That's probably going to be one of your other things that you need to know, is when you're working with a difficult teen, don't spend your time getting caught in the weeds on everybody's feelings all the time. There are certain times where you have talk times. I teach you how to do that too, but you want to make sure that when you're just doing a regular correction, you don't go into a big therapy session. Instead, just describe what happened, why it wasn't good, describe what they should have done, what negative consequence they've earned, practice things the right way, and then praise them and move on. You should have positive interactions, but they should be happening all of the time. Don't be afraid of doing corrections, especially if your child already has been told ahead of time how you will handle those corrections. That will be meaningful for them. When the troubled youth came to my home, I didn't change them. I didn't control them. I didn't get them to see things my way. I taught them truth. I taught them principles and skills, and then I let them choose. And then, of course, we consistently followed through with whatever the program said would happen if they chose a certain thing. This is the way that you teach a person self-government. This is the way that you help a difficult child see that there's a new way to be understood. Sometimes they just need skills, like disagreeing appropriately or something. I would love it if you had the opportunity to learn all of the skills of self-government. There's a full-length class here on this channel called The Not So Known Secret for Parenting Success. I highly recommend clicking on the link to that video now for your next class in self-government so that you can learn more about those skills. I'll see you there.